About a month ago, I used the Goldibox backpack dredge to hit this waterfall. It was only about 2 to 2.5 feet deep. Today I'm going to be testing it in 3 foot to 3.5 foot void here.
I'm going to be using the Goldibox backpack dredge to dredge just behind this rock right here. There's about a 3 to 3.5 foot dropout zone just before this rock. This rock acts as a natural ripple system in the creek bed. A couple of weeks ago, I dredged a little bit upstream, about 10 yards, underneath the waterfall and was able to find a good bit of gold. The Goldibox backpack dredge does good in environments down to about 3 to 3.5 feet. This void right here is about 3 feet to 3.5 feet. So I'm going to be doing some testing today to see how well the Goldibox backpack dredge does in an environment with about 3 to 3.5 feet void. If you could please smash the like and subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you get notified for my future videos. Now let's get into the video. About 3 feet deep right here, which is perfect for the Goldibox dredge. It goes down to about 3 to 3.5 feet, as I mentioned. Past that, it's probably not going to do much good with a 3700 GPH pump. So you'll probably need to get about a 1,000 more GPH pump, so maybe a 4,700, 4,500 GPH pump if you want to go any deeper than 3 to 3.5 feet. But it is working perfect for me right now. I use a shorter hose for better suction. I use a 6-foot hose, and it tends to have better suction power. I do have an 8-foot hose, but I prefer to use a 6-foot hose, given that the Goldibox dredge only goes down to about 3 to 3.5 feet with the recommended pump. So I prefer using a 6-foot King hose with my Goldibox dredge. The best thing about the Goldibox backpack dredge, I've mentioned this in my other videos, but it's very versatile. I'm not going to be able to get a huge king dredge in this creek. I have to walk in. Sometimes I have to walk in, 5 or 6 miles. This location right here is about 3 miles. And there's no way I'd be able to get a metal dredge in. And 3 miles is a long way to carry it, and that's the shortest route to get to this location. When I go gold mining, I don't like going to places most of the time that other people know about or go, because you're not going to find large deposits there. Most of the good, easy gold has already been found. So I found a book, and I looked for books and looked for historic information on lost creeks, creeks that have had gold in them before. Then I find these locations, and this setup is perfect for that. And I couldn't bring any other equipment that would do a better job than the Goldibox backpack dredge. I brung out, sluices and all that, and honestly, it's just not going to be, you're not going to get the amount of gold, you're not going to move the amount of ground that you can with the sluice as you can with this Goldibox backpack dredge. It's consistent, you're always sucking, it's a good system, it was designed really well, and it's just really efficient. It's a really efficient way to go out to remote locations and gold mine. And to me, the prospecting part of gold mining is fun to me, because I want to find the gold and the coal deposits that sure people might have found it, 100, 200 years ago, but I don't want to go to locations that have been and have constantly been hit over the past century. A lot of these places have been redeposited because of all the floods that have happened since the miners hit them in the old days. And it's just interesting for me, A lot of these creeks that I've mined and prospect, even when they were hit, they weren't hit thoroughly and good. So it's interesting for me, and I found some really good locations by doing this. And I'll post a link in the description below. And you can buy the same book I did, or you can just go online and do research. You've got to do a lot of research to find these lost locations that miners back in the 1800s used to mine. So I'll leave a link in the description before that. And the Goldibox backpack dredge is highly recommended. I've used king dredges and all that, and they're good systems. It's just not practical to bring in locations like this. It's just not going to happen. So there is a big use case for this 3D printed dredge, and the Goldibox backpack team have done an excellent job at designing their system. It does not use the same system as other dredges uses. It uses a fluid bed sluice system, which is awesome, because it is, to me, it is much more thorough. And I love the system, I love the setup. And like I mentioned, you want to get the 6-foot hose. I would highly recommend that. You're not going to be going down more than 3.5 to 4 feet. So that gives you plenty of extra room to work with. And thank you for watching my video. And I appreciate every one of my subscribers that watches my videos. And I hope that you would crash that like and subscribe button and turn on notifications. That way you can get notified for my future videos. And I've got a lot of good stuff planned. And if you will check out the description of my channel, I go into detail what my plans for this channel are. And I am going to find a way to help people that have helped me reach my goal. And my goal is 250,000 subscribers, so that I can get to a point to where I can start a mid-scale mining operation in North Carolina. And I've worked out some kind of tier system for my patrons to maybe be employed somehow in the future. And then I'm going to do kickbacks to my other patrons, given that I reach my goal and that everything is done the right way. And then to my subscribers, I'm planning on doing some giveaways.
Man, that looks good. Holy crap. That is good. Hold on 1 second. Probably about a half a gram there. It's a lot of little flakes. That's nice. Let's see if I can wash it down. And that's the take for today. Say it's probably about a half gram of gold. It's good though. The Goldibox performed very good today.